We'll put our box here. Here's our box that we're working on. I got this one little side thing I want to get done first. I've had this darn thing on the bench for what, a week? All I had to do was paint it. I had a whole week to paint it. Never did it. Came home, sat on my ass. Yeah, let's see what we got. Should be good enough. I'm just putting paint on the edge of that real quick before we get started. Just use the lid. There we go. That's all I wanted to do. Now this project, I can hang this later. I don't even think I need a hammer. So much paint in this thing. I'll mush it down later. All right. I need to find somewhere to put this so I don't. You know, I'm just throwing that away. I'm done with that paintbrush. Now I can hang these later. Took me a whole week to paint it because I'm a lazy bum. All right. So here's our mahogany box. I think we're going to reinforce the miters first. That way it can dry while we cut the false bottom and the lid. It glued up pretty good. That last corner, you know, when you assemble it with the blue tape, I could have took a little more time. There's a little bit of a lip there, but that's all right. We'll sand it off. All right, let's grab our miter reinforcement jiggy. Jiggy something. Where is it? How did I get it down here? There we go. All right. Found it. Just make sure it's going to work. Yep. All right, let's go to the table saw, get started. Probably going to hear some background noise today. My kids have friends over. So it'll probably seem like there's a war going on upstairs. Just realized I need the flat tip blade. All right, so I don't know. For reinforcing the corners, should I use more mahogany to try hiding the fact that it's reinforced, or should I use a different wood to kind of highlight it? So I've got some bloodwood, some wangi. I've got white hard maple. What are we thinking? More mahogany or something different? I'll ask you again when we got more people in here. Still works. All right. I just gotta make sure not to cut through the whole box. Good morning there. Hope everybody's doing good. So I'm about to reinforce the miters, the corners of this box, but I don't know if I should use more mahogany and try to hide the reinforcement, or maybe I've got some like wangi over there, some bloodwood. I've got some hard maple that might look pretty cool. Trying to get an idea where it's at on the box. Yeah, that'd be good. Pretty thin box. Pretty thin, so I'm not gonna go too deep. I almost think the white or the hard maple would look pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, let's go over to the scrap wood pile. We're going to decide what to put in here. So we've got our corners ready to be reinforced, right? I could cut some more mahogany and just try to hide the fact that these are in there, but I think let's go over here, see what we got. I actually have some walnut that's probably already cut. Oh, about to have an avalanche. Okay. So I've already got some poplar that should be pre-milled to that size. That would be easy. Leopard wood, I've never dealt with that. I don't know how hard that is. And I've got this maple. I've had this maple just chilling over here for a long time. Or I think I have another little slice of wangi somewhere. What are we thinking? Are we thinking darker wood or lighter wood? Any opinions? Use a dark one? You want to try some wangi? Let's do it. Let's do it. I actually haven't cut wangi in forever. I remember it's a real gritty powder. There we go. All right, this is the last time I'm changing this blade for this project. I swear. Because after this, we just have to make the bottom, the fake bottom, and the lid, and it's over. Should have this down to an art now. This should be like a pit stop. You think it looks good? I hope it does. I think it will. Nice little black, kind of dark spots in the corners. What's everybody up to on this fine Sunday? I'm going to finish this box today. It got cold out again, so I'm not going to be doing anything outside. This stuff is hard. All right. I just thought of something. I can probably use this blade. Yeah, because we're going to cut this wangi to the thickness of this blade. So let's jam the blade over here. Maybe. I don't know. I might have to joint that. No, I don't. This side's jointed. Okay. Let's clean that up real quick. What's the general purpose of wangy? You have to use 2 blades. Real gritty, man. It almost feels like sand. I'll probably have a nosebleed later from not having my air filter on. Yeah, we'll try that. It should be. This thing's still wiggling like crazy. That's not. There we go. That's way too thick. That looks way too thick. What happened? It's way too thick. I mean, if I had a belt sander, I could probably just, or a drum sander, I could probably just feed it through there a few times. Okay. So try that. Well, now I got a chunk of wingy to deal with. I thought if I just wedged that saw blade in between there, it would work out to physically be perfectly the right fit, but something went sideways on me. This thin rip jig has a little tape measure on it, but you know how tape measures are. No two are ever the same. Well, that took forever for no reason. Kiss my, there we go. It fits. It's a little snug, but it fits. It's actually pretty perfect. All right. Get out the small part sled and cut 8 pieces of this real quick. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but I said I might have to joint this board because that's what was happening at the end. It kept getting snagged. I realized there's like one part that wasn't jointed. So it got a little sketchy there. I was afraid it was going to fly back in my face. I mean, it's one thing to get injured in the shop, but it really sucked to do it live in front of a bunch of people. I was on Facebook Marketplace last night looking for decent used lathes. I got the turning bug. Any of you guys out there turn? All right, we need 8 pieces. Some of this is a little useless. Putting this on in case that offcut goes flying. No, we're getting that out of the way. We're just gonna eyeball an inch. I don't need to stop by. Yeah, you get the point. 3. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. Seven. One more. All right. And then I'll save this wingy strip for other projects. This is already milled to size. I think you can just use regular TiteBond on wingy. I think so. I mean, it's hard. I don't want to say it's like oily, but it almost feels like it would be water resistant. That's what it feels like. All right, let's head to the workbench here. get another tripod. That way this is all ready to go. Actually, I'll probably get online and order that later. Eye protection. Yep. What's going on, Big Black? This is the part I struggle with, is actually getting these little reinforcement bits like to seat properly. It always seems like it's kind of hard to see if they're sitting in there real good. I'll grab a paper towel. Let's do it this way. Now I forgot my little glue spreader doogie. That's way too much glue in there. Way too much. Maybe I can put a little in this one. This is where I struggle. All right, there we go. And then while these dry, we can cut the fake bottom and the lid and be done. Never actually worked with mahogany before, and all I've got is Rubio. So we're going to see how Rubio looks on mahogany. There we go. 2 down. Let's see. How long do you think I can leave TiteBond 2 in there before it's workable? Before I can come back into, you know, flush cut these and then sand it smooth. I bet after like half an hour I could probably do it. Looks like we got squeeze out on both sides. That one didn't look right. If you hold these up, you can kind of see how these two are pretty in line, and then this one's kind of pointing off into space. One of these is off. That one. There we go. Now it's more in line. Well, dang. I just realized I can't really. Yeah, I can do it. We'll just do it laying down. A little more difficult with the box laying flat, but we're getting there. Turn that one sideways. I just want to see what the end grain is going to look like sticking out the side. I can't believe I actually got those in without destroying the box. That's really snug. All right, we got our reinforcements in there. It's 11:40. Say give it half an hour, maybe be able to flush cut it. Let's go make the fake bottom and the lid. And actually, I don't have enough material milled to make both. I got enough for this material to be the top. And then I have this abomination from when the bandsaw went crazy on me. So we're going to run this through the planer a few times. And this will be our fake bottom. In the meantime, we're going to cut. Four chunks of this and glue it into the corner of the box. Let's head back to the table saw. Grab the table sled. Do it this way this time. Switch it up a bit. Where's my little chunk I said I was gonna cut? Oh, here it is. Gotta be a little bigger than that. All right, now we're gonna glue these 4 little pieces in the corner of our backs. Bad angle. I mean, I hate to hide that. That's a pretty sweet grain pattern on that bottom. I don't know if you can see it kind of shining, but I hate to conceal that. But we have an exact duplicate we're going to put right on top of it. I guess if I would have put glue on the sides of these pieces and not just the bottom, it would have helped reinforce those corners too, but that seems like it'd be overkill for reinforcement. I don't know, how well is this mic working? Can you pick up the fact that there's people talking in my kitchen? And just hear my wife say, I got butter. I bought butter at the store. All right, now the stressful part is cutting the fake bottom. Oh, I guess I should have double checked for square when I glued it together. Oh boy. And actually, I think we're just going to cut this with the table saw sled. We'll try it. Oh, I can leave that there. It's off by like a 32nd of an inch. Oh, this is not good. Yeah, I should have checked for square when I glued the dang thing together. All right. 9 and 8. Slightly overcut or leaving it oversized. should be slightly too big. Just a hair too big. That's what we want. I'm going to raise that blade just a smidge. I just realized I'm making a fake bottom and a lid the same size. I should have just done them at the same time. Okay. We're getting there. It fits snug that way. And it fits snug. It's a little more snug on that side, but still. Let's try cutting some of the sapwood off. All right. We're going to cut it a hair over 3 5/8. Pencil line ain't really showing up on this stuff. It's so shiny. I can't believe I worked with this table saw for over a year and didn't have a table saw sled made for it. Table saw sleds are great. I don't know. If you're a woodworker and you're watching this, do you use a table saw sled? What's up, Franco Bug? Salvador? How are you guys? See, if I had a lathe, I could glue all these scraps together and turn them. See, now I just need a lathe. Bottom line. Now, a traditional lid would just sit on top of the box. That's not what I want. I want this to go down in and smash receipts. All right, and we're just going to take little hairs off until we get there. Actually, once I get this cut to size, I'm going to mill the other piece, blue tape it, take it to the router. Okay. So this is the crazy part. One of these corners is not perfectly 90. So it's super snug right here. And it's just hanging over a little bit. So I'm going to angle this. Hopefully I can do it. Where I messed up was when I glued the box together with blue tape. I just wanted it to be over. Yesterday sucked. If you watched, you know what I'm talking about. And instead of double checking, I just glued it together and walked away. And now I'm paying for it. All right. Before I go any further, I want to mark that corner. This is the corner. That's the one that's a little wonky. Plus, after I milled the lumber, one of the boards kind of curled up a little bit, so that doesn't help square. So that side's good, and this one's still hanging up. Just want to do that again. One more time. Hopefully this does it. That's the cool part about a table saw sled is you can see exactly the cut line. And as long as you have a good clamp, you can essentially, instead of making it perfectly square, I'm just offsetting one corner just a little bit. Oh, it's just a hair snug. Uh-oh. Now we have a problem. I need a screwdriver. It's wedged in there. Whew. That was close. Okay. So we're going to switch gears real quick because I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom of this anyways to access the fake bottom. So let's head over to the drill press in case that happens again. Just in case. Oh, that's a good idea, Omni. Yeah, if I didn't get it out with a screwdriver, I probably would have been panicking. But yeah. This is the part where you guys see that, like, I don't do this for a living. I do this for fun. And I think that's why I like live streaming more than making project videos. Is project videos don't show the reality, if that makes sense. Project videos are good, and I've got a few pretty sweet ones coming up. Pretty excited to do them, actually. But they don't show the fact that, like, I'm a complete idiot, you know? Hold on. I think I got real little dowels over here. That might actually work. I don't know. That's a little snug. We'll go one size bigger. Ooh, you know, it's funny, story about my air compressor. I actually had to, when I was working on my water heater, there was too much sediment in the bottom for it to drain, so I sacrificed my only air compressor hose. I had to turn it into a siphon, and I haven't bought a new one yet. Make sure that's straight. Now I got a new blade on there. I'm going to drill in from the bottom into the box. That way, if there's blowout, which there's going to be blowout, it's going to be hiding. I'd rather it be concealed in the box than... I think it's stable enough for me to just hold it. Zoom in a little bit. I'm just eyeballing it into the middle. Come on. It's got to be through. It's got to be. I was going real slow, hoping to avoid tear out. Let's see how we did. Oh, not bad. Looks pretty clean. I was going real slow. I don't see any tear out. Zoom back out. So this is designed to hold receipts, keep them flat. But this should be, I'm hoping this void's big enough to put, put a $20 bill in there. Put a fake bottom. Actually, what's funny is I actually don't have any cash. I was going to say, let's test it out, but I'd have to go borrow money from probably my kid. Back to cutting the lid. We're almost done, guys. And then I'm probably just going to fashion a handle for the lid out of some of these offcuts, I think. You know how you could put that on there, so not very fancy. What was I doing? Oh yeah, this thing. I can't tell if it's too wide or too long. That side's good. I think it's just a hair too long now. Yeah, we're gonna snip just a smidge off this end. Just a tiny itty bitty bit. I mean, just a hair. One more cut. I think we got it. And then we're going to use this as a template for the fake bottom. Please work. We're almost there. Just gotta decide which. Wouldn't it be funny if I spent all this time making this box and then just slap like a cabinet handle on the lid? There we go. It's not very deep because that thickness, that material is actually the lid. We're going to mill thinner material so the box actually has some room. That's good. So it won't fall out. We must encourage it. Yeah, spend 2 days making a nice mahogany box and then just slap a cabinet handle on it. Actually, that doesn't look bad. I don't know. Let's vote. Should I use that? It doesn't. It actually doesn't look bad. I'm kind of a goofy guy. I might do it. I have no original handle idea. I literally came out here. I wing it. I was thinking I could just kind of take these offcuts and make something goofy and just glue it on there. I mean, maybe fancy it up a little bit with some angles, but all right, so we're gonna whip out the joiner. Send this through for a few passes. I don't have to join it. It's already been jointed and flattened here. You can see it's real thick here. I forgot to tighten one of my bandsaw guides, so it's all screwy sized. Oh, my dog left her bone in here. Let's get out the joiner. Whoa. This will just take a few passes. Check my phone battery here. Oh. All right, I'm turning on dust collection for this. Make sure I have enough milk. There we go. So you see milled, not milled. It's big enough to achieve what we want. So let's get out the router table and finish this guy. Sorry, I don't know. I used to mute the live stream when I whipped out the planer, because that's probably the most annoying sound any tool makes. But somebody told me that it's really weird to see like silent woodworking. Like it's jarring to people. Makes sense. Move all this crap. This area of my shop is getting renovated this summer. I got that old Craftsman toolbox. Just keeps falling apart. You gotta be kind of careful. There's TV right behind me. Got my template bit. And my water. Oh, I need my blue tape and my super glue. I'm glad I ran out of super glue. I ran out and bought some yesterday. I went to the Ace Hardware store for super glue. Kid showed me where the super glue was, and I can't believe, when I was a kid, this was super glue. You had one choice. They had almost an entire, like, one half of an aisle of just super glue.
I don't understand. Why isn't this?
There you go. What is it? Yeah, we do the end grain first because when we do the with the grain, it cleans up any blowout. Okay. Ooh, that's too high. That's too low. I'm hoping at this point our reinforcements are dry enough to cut and sand. We can get this done. All right, so put it. I'll make sure to try getting rid of as much sapwood as I can. Actually, the sapwood, it's not. It doesn't look bad in this grain pattern. All right, so if that's there, I just want to make sure I don't super glue this crap together. All right, fingers crossed I don't still by the small large. Yeah, exactly. It like glues the lid onto itself. What's going on? Mike is making stuff. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Where'd my pepper tail go? All right, baby. Please don't glue it. Okay. Damn it, forgot the activator. I brought it and forgot it. Well, wonder if I can just. Maybe it's getting in there. Who knows? Probably not. Seems to be sticking. Yeah, I think we're good. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. I'm grabbing my glasses in case something goes wrong here. The router scares me. It scares me. This is too much material to hog off. We're going to the bandsaw first. This will be quick. All right, take two. Actually, didn't really tear out that much. And the fun part, trying to get these, try to break these two apart. Please. I'll rip my fingernails off trying to get it. Maybe too much super glue. Oh yeah, yeah. I noticed that. I was editing video and I was like, why is everything backwards? It's like, it's actually like Bizarro World. There we go. Even like the miter saw was backwards. Table saw was backwards. I don't know how to fix it. All right, let's go back over the table saw. All right, so here's our lid. There we go. Oh, that one slips a little bit. But it's so snug. I mean, you never really suspect there's any foul play afoot. What happened, router? There you go. Fake bottom. Use this Dollar General receipt. Smash that puppy flat. So we can also hide some money in there. All right, this handle situation. I actually think that doesn't look bad. What's going on, Carmelo? I don't know. I tell you what. Well, if I put finish on it, I can't glue anything to it. But if I glue on the handle, it's going to extend this project another day. I think I am going to, I don't even know if I have the screws for that now, though. Nah, man. All right, I tell you what. I am going to make a handle for it. But in the meantime, we're going to finish the box with Rubio. And then I'll let the handle dry off camera and I'll finish this off camera. But we'll at least get Rubio on this today, see what it looks like. All right, let's go figure out how to flush cut these. It's not like I can like stick it like this. Yeah, we're gonna flush cut these off, sand it real quick, put on Rubio. And my shop's a mess, so I guess we'll go back over there. And now the bandsaw's in the way. Once I get one cut off, then I can lay the box down. Can you hear that? It sounds like I'm trying to cut a rock. What's the Janka hardness of Wingy? Anybody on the wood website at the moment? It's got to be up there. Holy cow, dude. Am I through it at all? Almost. I'll try to go the other way just to. Dude, this thing's like doing no damage to this wangy. Okay, hand sawn wangy sucks. Lesson learned. But once I get one corner cut off, I can kind of. There we go. Holy cow. Well, that look bad. Nice little. It's going to get real dark when we add Rubio to it, I think. All right. All right. There we go, 2 down. Kind of chipped out a little bit. See if I can get a better angle of this. So you guys are getting a crap angle. A little better. Wonder if I can do both at the same time. We're almost through it enough to go the other way. starting to peter out. Now I'm sawing my box a little bit. What's holding that one on? One of these is about to go. There we go. Oh no. A little chippy there. All right, let's finish that one off. Why is that in the way? I thought about clamping it down. I got some room to work with. We'll try it. I think it might still wiggle a little bit on me, but at least I'll have more control. There you go. How much battery we got? Okay, 45. I'm gonna get another clamp in here. Just keep it from rotating. I don't know if it's because they're advertising it or not, but I've been digging dinosaur movies this week. I don't know what it is. There we go. Cooking with butter now. A little bit of sanding to do. I was hoping to avoid that, but the clamp's kind of limiting my stroke here, but we're getting there. All right, clamps are shimmying loose here. vibrating loose. A little better. That's the one we cut, right? All right. 2 more, sand, finish. Oh, I'm an idiot. Put the clamps right back on. I will say some of the wingy chipped out a little bit, but not too bad. It could partially, I know the wingy is hard as a rock, and then it could also be this. I have used this a ton. Like this thing has got to be ready to be replaced. All right, that one's through enough. Come on. I'm actually surprised that the box hasn't vibrated itself apart. That's enough. Let's flip this over so it ain't vibrating so dang bad. Plus I got a little more leverage. And now I'm hitting my table saw. There we go. Much sturdier. All right, sand and Rubio. I'll figure out the handle off camera. I think we might do it over there at that workbench. It's not as annihilated as that workbench. Plus, I think any contrast in the box will probably show up better on this black material than that crappy old wooden kitchen table that I call workbench. Get some of this crap out of the way. Earbuds wingy. My planer actually does a really good job. If you put it on finish mode, it's, I mean, basically finish ready. But that Japanese handsaw kind of left some marks I gotta work out here. Oh my God. Now I'm trying to sand ingrained wangi. It's probably easier to build the pyramids. See, that bottom's like finish ready. That handsaw kind of did some damage to the sides here. A little tooth mark there and there. I so badly want to just get out the power sander here, the orbital sander. I'd say it's not bad. Let's get this one little sawtooth mark to get out. That had to be the first one I cut because that's pretty gnarly. All right, let's tack cloth this. And what's kind of sucks is my Rubio, the accelerator thing, the activator, it sealed itself shut. So now I gotta let this stuff cure for like 7 days. This little thing. Can't remember. Do we use the black or the white? I think it's the white. Yeah, that's for. Anybody know what that is?
What you mean? Sealed? You have tools.
Yes, white. Yes, yes.
Well, that sucks.
I used to have a bunch of these, like, you know, those little plastic syringes you use for medicine. I ordered a bunch of those off of Amazon, and I guess I used my last one. Rubio's not cheap, so I try not to. I've always pulled it out with a syringe and not just poured it out. So see how this goes. This is actually called a tack. I think they're called tack cloths. It's almost like a cheesecloth that's like coated in like tree sap or something. I don't know. But like, let's say you're like me and my air compressor, I don't have a hose for it. You do this and it sucks up all the, it's real tacky. Like you don't even want to touch it with your skin. How are we doing on battery? All right, we got 36%. We're good. We're going to get this done right now. Take a punch and poke a hole in the can in the activator. You think it's still liquidy in there? It feels like a brick. I think it's solid. I guess I could always go buy more activator. Rockler's like 40 minutes from my house, though. Ordering online. What are you guys working on? What's your what projects on your bench? Doing home reno? Even my Rubio is looking a little sus. What are the odds I do this without making a giant mess? That's probably more than enough. All right. Dun dun dun. Finally. Of course, it's all oily. But kind of hard to tell. See how it shines? I didn't know Mahogany did this. Let's do a long side now. Chatoyancy, is that the word for it? The shininess? Omniphobia, dude. What do you do for a living? You seem very knowledgeable in this world. I'm just a stooge out here having fun. Look how dark that wangy got, dude. That thing is, I mean, it's almost black at this point. It almost looks like ebony. I forget who suggested the wangy earlier today. That was a good call, even though it was a pain in the ass. I was going to do cheese ball maple. But then it turns yellow with Rubio. Bro, that wanky looks slick. It just looks like little black dots. I wish I would have took the time to do a wraparound, like the continuous grain. But if anybody was watching yesterday, yesterday was a disaster in the shop. I was lucky to get a box built. Okay. Pretty good angle. Hello, David Donaldson. Man, you just tuned in right here at the end of the day. I'm slapping some Rubio on this box just to see what it looks like. I'm going to finish the lid and the bottom off camera, and then probably at the beginning of the next live stream, we'll check out what I got done with it. But this is probably going to be towards the end of this video today. All right, we'll let that soak in for a minute. Work our way to the side, the inside. Guess I could back up a little bit, where it's not in the
started out installing cabinetry.
You were installing it or making it? Yeah, so you definitely know your way around a shop. I mean, I like my job, but I think if I knew what I knew now, I probably would have went back and been a carpenter or an electrician. I don't see those jobs ever getting automated too much. Even my job is going to take for a while for it to be automated, but still, it's that impending doom. Oh, this thing looks slick. I don't know. I've got a lot of project ideas coming up. I don't know if I want to live stream them or just make a project video about it. Actually, I have an idea. One project is going to be 2 objects. So I can make one for the project video and then live stream the other one. There we go. Problem solved. Oh, dude, this thing looks slick, no? My shop's too bright. All right, let's do the bottom. Wipe this thing up. Oh, I can do the bottom too. The thin piece we just finished. Actually, I could do that for a lot of things. I could, if I have a project video in mind, do it twice, live stream one project, and then just give one away to whoever wants it. It's not a bad idea. All right, this is the last piece I'm doing here, and then we'll wipe it down, call it a day. Spring break's coming up. I actually had enough seniority this year to get that vacation week off, which is pretty sweet. Dad gets to sleep in for a week. It's usually whenever I go on vacation, the kids are still in school, so I still have to get up, get them ready, get them on the bus, get them fed. I'm actually going to put the bottom in, and hopefully we can still get it out. Hopefully this Rubio doesn't act like a suction cup or something weird. I'm probably using way too much Rubio. I cake it in there and then I wipe it off. Which side looks better? That one? Ooh, I'll do this one. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be like a suction cup. I'm gonna get it out of there before it dries. I'm gonna put my dowel. We got it. Never a doubt. Yeah, even when it's not shiny, or even when it's not wet, it's, look at that, dude. I got all the oil. I mean, obviously there's still oil on it, but it's not dripping, and it's still. So at my hardwood lumber, dude, and like they have like a kind of like a showroom in the front, and they had, I don't know, like they had this what is this, 2-3 foot chunk of mahogany for like $20. Did they do that because it has this crazy grain pattern? Because I don't remember seeing like a mahogany humidor that looks like this. Let's throw him on the ground. I'm not trying to drag this out here. I don't want to try touching my phone and end it with Rubio on my gloves, and I don't really want to leave towels and Rubio out here. I'm real forward. Once I learned that oily rags can burn down your house, I got real I like creeped out about it. So I don't like leaving them out here. All right, last piece. I appreciate you guys stopping by the shop today and hanging out with me. I meant to get up. There's a guy, Benjamin Winkle. He live streams wood turning. Benjamin Winkle. It's really fascinating to watch people turn wood. I can't wait to get into it. But I think he's in Denmark, so he's like, his morning is like 6 in the morning for me. Which I'm an older guy, but I'm not that old. I don't wake up that early yet. I do occasionally though, just to watch him. Right on. Hell yeah. Let's do this. Use these like they're intended to. Nope, that's not going to work at all. Don't know what the hell I was thinking. There we go. Right on. Get all these oily rags out of my shop. So yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out, supporting the channel, sharing wisdom, watching me be a dipshit. Yeah, thanks. So have a good Sunday. I mean, you guys watch me do it. You can do it.